Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about divine timing and things finally seeming to balance out, or someone feeling like they've found where they belong. This is the Masonic Tarot, so that Seven of Gold is actually correlated to fire signs, so that would be like the Seven of Wands. And then we have Temperance. So a lot of fire energy, right? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But this is saying that because the timing is aligning, because there are things that have changed, circumstances that are different, we have things that are now working that were not previously. This could mean that for your career, things are falling into place and you get that job offer that really helps you take your career to the next level. And for others of you, this could be about getting things in order, or your person getting things in order so that you can finally have that relationship that you've been wanting to have. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chanting. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, how's it going, Aqua Beauty? Hello, Jess. I'm Key Controller. I'm going to say hi to you even though you were on the live chat before I had to X out of it. Thank you, everyone who's been putting up with the little technical difficulties we've been having lately. I appreciate you. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. If you would like a personal reading, my email address is in the description box below, wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. And I think we are going to start with what's the news? Because we need to figure out what's falling into place, what's working out. The cleanse, detox, ridding negativity, purification, and fuego, chemistry, intense passion. Things are heating up. I feel this is probably for the majority of you a romantic thing because we're talking about passion, right? But let's keep in mind that a passion can also refer to what somebody really likes doing with their time, how they want to make money, right? So take it how it resonates. But this is saying, I know that there are things that are standing in my way. I know there are things that might make this more difficult for me to achieve or pursue. So I'm going to address those things right now. It might seem like kind of a silly analogy, but since I have recently had to move stuff, I would compare it to when I had to move things through the hallway. If there were things kind of blocking where I needed to move, heavy furniture or, I don't know, roll the suitcase through, you got to clear the things beforehand, right? Because you don't want to get caught on something, whatever else. This is somebody acknowledging there are obstacles in my way. There are things that aren't necessarily where I want them to be. So I'm going to do what I can to address those things so that things will eventually work out. So we have ghost, no closure, cowardice, disappearing act, and wine and dine, courtship, consistently dating, and romance and passion. Another reference to passion. So I do feel that this cleansing energy, or this letting go of some toxic energy, is dealing with somebody who is difficult to deal with. So this could be an ex, this could be a friend, this could even be a family member. But we have energy that has made things difficult for, I'm going to call you Temperance. But of course, we may have a different name for you. It just feels to me like you are balancing things in your own life by acknowledging that there are people who don't treat you with the respect that you deserve. And it's enabling you, I think, to have a more successful love life. Squad. Yeah, and key player. So this is a friend or a family member. We have close friends, soul tribe, reconciliation, squad. This is, I need to make sure that I have the right friends around me, that I am, not increasing the anxiety or drama in my life because of people that are there. There's an important person, someone who's irreplaceable. This is a love interest, I feel. And let's say it's a best friend who's always had feelings for you, but you've never really had feelings for them. If this is getting to the point where it's hard for me to feel like you respect the fact that I'm not interested in that and I want to be in a relationship with somebody else, then maybe the right thing for me to do is to end that friendship, because it doesn't seem like it's really a friendship to the other person, right? This is the Marigold Tarot. I love it, William. How's it going? Thank you. I appreciate it, Aqua Beauty. So we've got King of Cups and the Two of Rings. The Two of Rings would be the Two of Pentacles, by the way. And the Knight of Rings, or the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. I think we've got somebody who is acknowledging that maybe they've had a close relationship or friendship with somebody that didn't really have the best of intentions, somebody that was unreliable. And it's like, I've given you a lot of chances. I've tried to be patient, but it feels like maybe it's not going to change. I think we have a little bit of guilt. You know, if I end this friendship or if I walk away from this person, am I going to feel like I made their life worse, or am I going to feel bad for, you know, doing that? But if this is an unreliable person, then it seems like maybe there's a reason for you to not feel like you could trust them. Seven of Rings or the Seven of Pentacles, the Four of Rings or Four of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. I'm going to choose to let go of things where I'm the only person that sets up or initiates conversations or like hangouts. Like if you're only in my life because there are times where you need things and then you ask for them, or if you're only, you know, looking to spread drama or cause chaos. This is somebody who's acknowledging like maybe the things that I thought were important. Maybe I need to be more focused on the people who actually have a positive impact to my life instead of letting, you know, people who make things a little bit difficult make them a priority. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. So we have the Two of Cups and the Chariot in the reverse. Love has helped this person identify, okay, maybe life isn't as great on that path as I thought it was. Maybe there are some things that I need to do. Maybe I just need to do a little bit of cleanup, right? We had the cleanse. It's spring cleaning time, right? It's not easy identifying a whole list of things you need to do before things would look clean or smell better. But when you get to the end of that clean list and you look around and you're like, man, this looks great here. There's a lot of like a sense of achievement or accomplishment, right? So we've got somebody that's basically realizing I've been following the wrong path. I haven't really been making the right choice. We have the Two of Wands in reverse and the Page of Rings in reverse. That's the Page of Pentacles. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Upper Echelon. Hello again, Key Controller. Yeah, if I want what I want, then I have to make changes. I have to accept that maybe I need to do a little exploring and think about what other options are available to me. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Hold on. Oops. I don't know, man. This is somebody who seems to be really negative with this Queen of Swords in the reverse. This is the person who's been ghosting or causing some issues. They may have a difficult time communicating in general, or they might have a very negative style of communication where maybe they don't like to take accountability or they're always complaining about things. This is somebody who has made it difficult for you to have a successful relationship, in part because of like sorry, I have to make sure this table's not falling in. In part because of the fact that they seem to always be living in the past. And it seems like you're trying to let go of that energy. You don't want to be, I don't know, looking for reasons to be irritable. Hello, James. How are you doing? Hello, Robert. Uh-oh. Wait, are you saying you can't hear me anymore? I know, it's happened earlier today, so I got to be cautious about it. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. We've got the Eight of Swords, Four of Wands in the reverse, and the Magician in the reverse. I realize now that I have made things more difficult on myself by staying in this environment or being friends with this person. I maybe felt like things were more difficult than they actually were. I talked myself into feeling like I can't actually make the changes that I want. Thanks, Peggy. There's a lot of noise in society today that helps people to justify blaming everything else or everyone else so that they can avoid accountability. And I think it's worth just saying a little like shout out or I see you to the people out there that genuinely want to find ways to make their lives better and acknowledge that sometimes that means I have to do this or I need to change this or maybe my perspective was wrong here. It's not always everybody else's problem, right? This is someone who finally said, you know what? I think maybe I need to acknowledge that I've been keeping people around for reasons that aren't necessarily the best. Maybe I've been looking the other way because I didn't want to feel alone. But the reality is, whoever I've got as this close friend, or maybe it's, you know, a cousin, I could have walked away from that, or I could have had a better experience if I hadn't been so caught up in that friendship or that connection or how they like to live. It's cost me being able to pursue some of the things that I wanted to. So maybe it's time for me to finally admit that this is not a very good connection and there's something else that I would rather prioritize. Wow. Yo, this is like a very impressive trio. We have the Star, the Devil in the reverse, and the Four of Swords. And literally all three of them can reference somebody who's letting go of things that block them. Somebody who no longer feels like they're stuck. You know what? I can fix this. I can change that. I can prioritize something different. I don't need to be validated by other people, or I can have a good time hanging out by myself. Hello, Voyager. Hello, Hayden. How are we doing? Oh, what happened? Hello, Upper Echelon. I can't remember if I said hi to you or not. Yeah, that's fair. Hello, Pharaoh. How are you doing? What else do we have? Eight of Wands. Clarifying the Eight of Swords, by the way. So 88 could be important. Five of Cups in the reverse. Again. And Death in the reverse. So we have somebody who finally decides, I'm going to have a conversation with this person. I don't feel like it's worth wasting more of my time being stuck and influenced by people who have such a negative perspective. So I'm going to let them know that I need to make some changes because they are unwilling to make some changes of their own. I'm going to make the dumbest analogy ever. Are you ready for it? So I lived most of my life in Minneapolis or Minnesota, and shit's cold, okay? In fact, right now, it's probably still cold. I'm pretty sure there's snow up there, right, guys? Right? I could handle some pretty cold weather. Like I used to go for walks when it was like -10. But now my skin is like super thin because I've gotten used to Tennessee weather, right? Purple rain, I dig it. If somebody were to ask me, like one of my Minnesota friends, hey, you want to come up and like hang out for Christmas or like right now, I'd be like, oh man, like I miss you, I love you and all, but like, can we talk about summer? Can we, like, I'm not interested in that. Some people are a little bit more excited to go like skiing and things like that, but like I had that for most of my life. This is somebody who's like, look, I don't want to live like that anymore. But the thing is you don't seem to be interested in changing. So you do you, and I'll do what I want to do. I don't love any of my Minnesota people any less. They should be able to choose where they want to live too, right? But like, if I'm gonna visit, it's probably gonna be when it's warmer. Hello, Khalil. How are you doing? Lovely emojis. All right, so we've got Ace of Wands in the reverse, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Empress in the reverse. The reality has sunk in for whoever I'm reading for. I do feel like I could refer to you as the King of Cups, but remember, gender doesn't really exist in tarot. This is just energy. But this is this is somebody who has realized that they were essentially kind of stuck or trapped because of the people that they surrounded themselves with, or one friend in particular. Could be like a friends with benefits. Just saying, I'm gonna call you out every now and then. This is the Rider-Waite or the Waite-Smith. Six of Wands in the reverse, Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups in the reverse. I don't really like this because it feels to me like there's something that has happened to this King of Cups that felt like a failure. I lost my job, or, you know, I got kicked out, or my relationship ended. I don't know, not good things. And yet, this, I don't know, friend or group of friends, they don't seem to want to offer any like assistance or ask if you're okay. This is like, I don't know. I am a fair weather friend. I'm not going to like actually show you that I'm there for you when you go through difficult times. Just like a friend for the sake of telling people I'm your friend, I guess. So when this King of Cups really thinks about it, it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe what I thought was a friend is not really a friend. Maybe I need to be more honest with myself about why those people are interested in spending time with me or being in my life, because it might be more about like clout chasing or what they think they can get from me. Four of Cups, King of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. So this is our King of Cups, right? Rejecting someone or perhaps even a group and being honest. This is the issue. You don't want to change, and I do want to change. So I guess that means we can't really do it. What's up, Tiana? How are you doing? LOL, Voyager. It's because I decided to do a freaking glitter eyeshadow. And I don't know why. So it like, you know, whatever. We can still be friends, don't worry. Eight of Cups and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Your walking away, King of Cups, is going to affect this group or this person more than they want to admit. They probably would never say or like acknowledge that you put forth more effort or like you make things better, but you do. And when you walk away, let's just like kind of make it basic or whatever. They're going to be like, but now how am I supposed to watch Netflix? But now how am I supposed to get free pizza? Like, oh, I'm glad you appreciate the nuances of meaningful relationships. Now how do I get free things? Okay, Veruca. We've got Four of Swords and the High Priestess in the reverse. Again, the cleanse. So our King of Cups has said, I think I'm just going to be honest with myself that deciding to hang out with you all was like probably not the best choice for me. So it's looking like if I want to have a more peaceful existence, if I want to have less drama, then I shouldn't hang out with people who create drama, right? Thank you. I appreciate it. What else? Three of Cups in the reverse and the Lovers. So if I must choose between having a life with some friend or friends that I cannot count on that really just seem to be thinking about themselves or being greedy and they don't like to ask me how I'm doing or make sure I'm all right, or someone I'm falling in love with, it looks like they feel they have to choose between the fake friends and the love interest. And they've decided, I'm going to let go of this not so great friend or this friend group that doesn't really seem to care about me and go after or pursue a serious relationship with the person who makes me like feel loved. What else do we have? We've got compassion, empathy, forgiveness, holding space, and listen. See, there's somebody here who has shown this King of Cups, unconditional love, or what real friendship should be. We've got split, head versus heart, two worlds, transition, and ego death. Because of a spiritual awakening, our King of Cups is realizing that it's time to transition towards a different life, somewhere where they would feel they actually belong. With that Four of Wands being in the reverse, it felt like there was instability or difficulty where they were living or the group of people where they were hanging out because they don't feel like they belong because they have changed and the others maybe not so much. Yin, affection, caring, soft, heart, and feminine, and whispers, depth, inward, meditation, higher self, and existence. So it's been great partying with you all, and you have some great jokes. I don't know, you seem to have like good thoughts on what fashion is in, but like as far as like deep conversations, deep thoughts, I don't know, talking about like a book that you read or a lesson that you've learned, like there's really no depth here is what I'm getting at. So whenever I want to talk to you about like what my favorite nail polish color is, I'll be right here, boo. But like other than that, you know what I mean? Like there's not a lot in common anymore. And that happens. Sometimes you grow apart. But in order for this King of Cups to actually be able to go through this awakening and have this glow up, they have to acknowledge that there are some things or some people that are kind of holding them back. Gifts, skills, talent, practice, publicity, success, and fame. And justice. Okay, this is very specific, not for everyone, but there is someone out there who is going to become famous because of perhaps like reporting or journalism, or you may even be on YouTube. But there's something here about you capturing what's going on and it going like viral. For more of you, this is saying your gifts are very important. They do something to restore balance. So not only are you doing this cleanse or walking away from people you can't rely on in order to create stability and happiness within your own life, it's also that you are able to take those gifts and apply that for other people. You make other people's lives better, which is why the universe is like, yo, can you stop hanging out with those stupid friends? We got work to do. Like, let's go. Come on. Do they still do it? I don't even know. Hello, Amit. How are you doing? We've got chapters: light after darkness, rise, new life, and dawn unfold. So, King of Cups, if you're listening, you got a lot of important work to do, and it's partly because you are really awesome. You've got some gifts. They're probably ramping up for you. Your intuition is probably working a little bit in overgear or overdrive, and you may be realizing that you're pulled towards a very different kind of life than you thought you would be 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. But you're being made to feel uncomfortable around people who don't understand you because they don't understand you. So, if you went to like family Thanksgiving and somebody put your plate at the kids' table and you had just turned 21, are you gonna say something about it? You're gonna be like, yo, I can like officially drink liquor now. So like adult table? What do you think? What do you think? You're supposed to be at the adult table and you're sitting here hanging out with the kids. Now it worked out for the dude and grandma's boy. They had a great little conversation about video games, but like, I love it. Hello, masculine. How are you doing? This is the Path of Shadows. We have the Fox. Hold on, I can't read it. It's just a little dark, you guys. And it's like white font on snow. Like, why would you do that to me? Enigma, adaptability, shape-shifting. Well, I guess they kind of answered my question. We put white font on snow, Carmen, because we were trying to talk about shape-shifting. Now you see it, now you don't. This is somebody who is different. And they realize that they have called people who they cannot trust friends. And they don't want to deal with, like, they don't move that way anymore. So we've got the venomous garden. That makes sense. Beauty conceals truth beneath captivating lies. Beware the allure of the dangers that in the shadows hide. They may have gotten kind of dazzled by people that are famous or people that are rich. They may have felt like people that they've known for almost their entire life have to be their friend, even though you've grown very differently and have different perspectives. We have we have procrastination. The ticking of the clock. I can't help you guys. Every time I laugh at this card because there's a typo and it says the tickling of the clock. So anyways, that clock, it's ticking, you guys, and it distracts me from the fact that my worst enemy hides in my mind. King of Cups has realized if their perception changes, then they are able to elevate. They are able to move into a new chapter. But it requires them first acknowledging that a change would do them good, you know? Sheryl Crow? I think that's Sheryl Crow. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I can take it. What else do we have? Entrapment, pregnancy, money, heartstrings, and today, present, now, and in the moment. As of today, whoever I'm reading for, you still have this person in your life and they are impacting your money. This could be directly. They could be asking you to pay their way or drive them places or let them eat your food, whatever it is. Or this could be because of like indirect expenses where you maybe feel a little bit guilty bringing up what you actually have to spend to be this person's friend. But today you have a golden opportunity to cut this not so great friend off. Friend? What? What friend? That's just a toxic apple. Maybe you could just, when you have to have this difficult conversation, cutting somebody off, just literally picture them as the poison apple. Will that help you? This person has always had tendencies that put your goals at risk because of their neediness, moochy behavior, or them actually like sabotaging your ish. So like, be more selective. You are a badass, and as such, you should only have badasses in your sphere. You can tell them I said so. Oh, I'm sorry. I've leveled up as a person, and you just, you're there yet. Don't say that. That's rude. This person, though, or these people, they are not challenging themselves. They are not looking to like grow up, at least not like the way you are. So don't ruin your progress by like keeping pace with somebody who can't keep pace with you, you know? Like, I have never been a good runner. I have run a 5K and I did not die. It's pretty great. I hated it. But I really wanted to cross that off my list, so I did it anyways. You don't have to be the best at anything, but you can achieve things and it makes you feel better about what you're capable of. I hated running that 5K, but I feel better as a person knowing that I could actually do that once I put my mind to it. You know what I mean? So we have somebody that's like, you know what, it's probably gonna be really awkward for me to like change all of this stuff about my life, but I know I can do it and I know it'll be worth it. I know that there's something else. So the Ace of Pentacles, there's an opportunity here for me and I don't want to miss out on that opportunity because I was too stuck in